Meet the team that doesn't just talk about impact, they ignite it. Jim Morris and producer Rachel.
Can you hear the sound?
All the special effects from producer Rachel.
We're getting better. We're getting better.
Still, God. I know I say this every day, but like, I think I could just watch that intro video 50 times every single day. I don't know. Gets me fired up.
Good, because it's what we got for now until our next season. Then I'll change it up. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. I'm excited for
oh God.
I'm excited for Now
I'm
Money.
breaking out in hives. So for those that don't know, like inside Impact Effect community, we curate training for the members. And one of the things that Jim curated for us, because I'm not great at sales, and I know it's a limiting belief I've told myself, and we're working through that mindset. But a lot of people wanted to understand how to get more leads, how to market, how to make sales calls, like do all the things. And so Jim has this training called Now Money. Just like thinking about it's giving me hives. So we did part 1 last week. We did an amazing follow-up, which I needed, which is to figure out what is it called? We had to figure out our profitable skill and our winning offer. And so I did that. And then can you tell everybody what our goal is that we had to do by today that is making me want to run away? It was reach out to
150,
how many people?
150 interactions.
I want to throw up.
50 in a week. So you have 7 days. And if you do it over, 5 days, it was like 22 interactions per day.
And I get it. Like, it's not all cold calls. It's interactions. It's different types of interactions. And if you want to know more about it, join the community. The training is there. You can all do this at your own pace. But like, it made me so uncomfortable.
Just so everybody knows, Brock Zeven told me that about this concept Now Money with his cold calling and his programs that he runs. So when I heard that, I was like, "Ooh, I love that! I love that title." But I don't want to create something that forces everybody to just pick up the phone and do cold calls, because that right there, that's a skill that takes time and not just one session with us inside the community, right? Like we're going to have probably a 6-part series on sales calls because it is that level of depth that's needed. And
I'm making Jim practice with me. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm going to do it with community members where I'm like, okay, let's go through the call, because we all know consistency is key. And the more I do it and the better I get at it, the better it will be for me and easier. I won't be so like, oh my God, I'm so scared to do this. What I love about the touch points that you created is it's like, it could be through DMs, it could be through text, it could be a call if you wanted to, it could be an email. Like, you created different ways to do it. So that sort of lightened that load for me because I'm not used to doing calls. And then also it really made me look in the mirror and see like, okay, why am I so uncomfortable with doing this? Why? When I know I have something of value to offer that can help somebody's life, when I know I have the pedigree and the 20 plus years of experience to help somebody, why am I devaluing that and allowing fear to stop me? And I think it's because, and this is not a flex, but I think it's because I have not gotten a lot of no's in my life. And so I started to create this narrative around no, that I got scared of getting no's. And so I don't try instead, right? Most of my business is word of mouth. People come to me, but I'm growing and scaling. So now I have to start creating touch points with other people. And for some reason, I created this limiting belief around it where it's like, oh, I don't like to sell. Selling is my Achilles heel. I don't know how to market. But that's not true. I talk every day. Like, I do this every day. I talk to people all the time. So what I love about Jim is he's not scared to make that touch point. He's not scared to make that call. But are you scared of the no? And how do I sort of break through the fear of the no?
It's such an interesting question because I've been exactly where you're at, right? And you know, with the first conference I ever put on, I failed at it. And it really hurt. It hurt so much because, similar to what you're saying, up until then, I crushed it. I don't know how else to say it. Like, everything I put my mind to, it it went very well. And it sounds super egotistical and sounds terrible as it comes out of my mouth right now. But like the reality of it is I've never lost that on a business deal. Like shortly after that, I lost on another business deal, and we can get into that later. But that was another time of like, whoa, okay. And that one really hurt, right? Because that was the savior financially to the first loss. But to your point, it's tough to get told no. It's tough to get questioned. It's tough to get pushback. It's tough to hear an objection and not know how to handle it, right? Like all of those things suck in the moment. But you've got to get through that, and you've got to do the things that make you cringe before the people will start to binge, right? And ultimately at the end...
Say that again. Wait, you have to say that one more time. I have to soak that in. Say it again.
I stole this from someone, by the way. This is not a Jim Morris original, but...
Well, thank you for admitting that.
But it actually is... As I think about it, wow, it means so many things to me, but we'll stick here on this one. You have to go through the cringe in order for them to binge. So what does that actually mean when we're talking about creating now money for your business? It's doing the things that you don't know how to do. It's trying new things. It's taking risk, and it's being okay with a level of embarrassment, right? Like that sucks. No one wants that. But the first part of removing that energy drain is identifying the reality behind it, right? Like it's going to suck when someone tells me that I know, right? Because we typically, for now money, we're going to call people we know first, that, and a little bit warmer than the cold leads. But someone I know is telling me I'm not good enough. That's a you problem. Like, and I know that sounds really harsh, but like when I finally looked in the mirror and I was like, Jim, can I not handle someone just saying, hey, I don't want this. I don't want what you created. I couldn't handle that.
It hurts. It hurts.
Over and over is what allows that sting to be less. And you've got to run into the fire, right? The only way out is through. So you've got to go through it. And the reason why I say those cringe moments before they binge is because those are the moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like that was a terrible sales call. Oh my gosh, I said this and it led down this road, and that's not even where I was trying to go with this. Or shit, they asked about this and I can't believe I answered it that way. Like I could have said this and that would have closed them, and that was so much better. And that's what the problem was that they were trying to solve. And I solved that problem. My product, my service solves that problem. And I missed telling them how we solve it. Like, that's the cringe moments. That's the embarrassing moments. But the beauty in all that is no one is picking up the phone and calling producer Rachel and saying, Jim Morris just called me and invited me to Impact Effect Community, and I said no because his shit sucks. No one does that. And if they do, you don't want to work with that person anyways. You never want to convert them, right? Because there's just going to be a problem, and that's never going to be a partnership. It's going to be you as a piece of material to them that they use, and that's not good business. I don't care what the ticket on it is. You're going to feel like shit afterwards. Right? I've sold a house and made $45,000. It felt like shit after because the person just walked all over me and treated me like I wasn't even a fucking human. Like that check didn't even feel good. What I bought with it did, as I laughed. But like, that's a joke. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is we've got to do those things that we're not good at in order to get better. Right? And if we show up and we try certain things and we realize that the person's not going to hang up the phone and go tell the world that we're stupid and our product sucks, then it just might not be the right time, or there might not be the right fit. But that doesn't mean you can't call that person later. You can't stay in touch with that person. And this is what I learned in real estate. Like most people you meet don't want to buy a house when you meet them. Actually, like 99% of the people. So when I was in real estate, if I went and met you and started talking, and we built a relationship. And I said, oh, do you own a home? Do you rent a home? Like what? And I started doing my, discovery. 99% of the people aren't telling me, yeah, I want to buy a home right now. Let's go, Jim. Can we see it this weekend? Can we see it in 2 weeks? Hey, I'm going away. When I get back, I want to buy a house. Hey, I want to start my mortgage process. I want to do this. I want to get the loan. No one says that. So for the folks that are in real estate that are struggling, it's like you're getting no's to every single person you meet, and they're not running around and saying they're never going to use you. So when you do make the ask, which I advise you to do, because that tells you where you start the process at, right? And you shouldn't make the ask immediately. You should build the relationship, right? Deep human connection, number one. See if there's alignment, number one. But then you've got to make people aware of what you do and what you offer. And you can do that in a way of, hey, we've met a couple times over coffee. I really like you. Is there an opportunity for us to work together potentially in the future? Is there an opportunity for me to interview to be your realtor? Like that's a low level ask, knowing that that it's not a no, you can't interview, right? So like how I set that up was, I'm not asking you to make the decision right now. I'm asking you for a shot. And the reason why I want a shot is because I'm always going to bet on myself. So if I get this shot, knowing that I believe in relationships and deep human connection, then I'm going to show up and love on you. And when it's my shot, I'm going to roll into that interview, and I don't care how many other people you're interviewing. I don't care if it's your cousin or your sister or your brother. I don't care if your mom told you she's going to exile you out of the family if you don't use your brother as the realtor, because I know that that relationship was built, and I'm going to show up to that interview and crush it. And if it ultimately comes down to this, which has happened to me, where literally someone said, dude, my mom will literally like kill me if I don't use my brother. All good. Totally understand that. That person referred me 3 other people within the next 9 months and made $32,000 off those 3 people. So you got to understand that even if you get the no now, or even if you think you're going to get the deal and you don't, you still got to love on people. You still got to build the relationship. You still got to show up for them. And then that's when the referrals come. That's when the calls come, and it's given on a bow, right? like, hey, Jim, Sean wants to buy a house. We go to church together. I told him you're the only person to use, even though I didn't use you, how great you've been, how awesome, how helpful. I call Sean, and Sean's like, can we go see a house tomorrow? And we end up getting something under contract in 48 hours. And I close in 3 weeks, 21 days to make a $13,000 paycheck. And I've probably shown 5 houses, and I will end up working a total of 9 hours. We're talking like over $1,000 an hour, right? And that just came from doing the right thing with that person initially. So I know not everybody's in real estate, and this community isn't about real estate by any means. It's about growing and doing it together with people and not being alone and navigating the business world to continue to build and grow. But ultimately, you've got to realize that when you go into those moments that feel like cringe, you've got to take that momentum and use it positively rather than allow it to drain you. And that's really hard, but that is what is going to push us through to be able to do 150 different interactions with folks throughout the week to continue to build the pipeline. Because if we do 5 may not be ready right now. And the whole purpose of this is now money. So you've got to talk to 150 people this week. And you can do it in different ways. And that's the beauty of the training today. We're actually going to take a member through their specific tracker and their interactions so I can give real-time feedback and honest opinion on that's not going to push the needle, or that is going to push the needle. And the other thing that we provide too in the community around this concept is resources. So like, here's 10 motivational videos that you can just send right off YouTube and share with people. That's an interaction. Hey, I was thinking about you. Woke up early this morning, realized I was tired. Maybe you are. Here's a motivational video at 5:30 a.m. that you can wake up to. Some people might say you're crazy. Some people might say thanks. Some people might ignore you. But the whole goal of this is hitting a number of interactions, creating a target, and hitting it. It's not about reactions. It's not about sales. It's about starting the process of building the pipeline and building those deep level of relationships.
Well, and those are the two things that I think got me over the hump. So for today's challenge, really what Jim is saying is it's not about selling. How many just human connections can you make in this next week, right? If I know everybody, I want lead gen and I want to make sales, start with human connection first. Everything else will follow.
It's not all new people. That's the other thing that I want to talk about real quick is like, I'm not saying go make 150 new friends. Interactions. 150 interactions. So that can be people you've talked to, that can be friends, that can be family, that can be people on social media, right? One of the most powerful things is to go comment on someone that you're trying to prospect to start to build a relationship. And guess what, folks? We have that training in the community too.
We do.
The impact engagement plan. It's outbound marketing, outbound communication to drive people inwards to your profile, to your page, to start a conversation, to get them to the DMs, to get them on a discovery sales call, right? And here's the beauty in all this, and this is what people freak out about. Sometimes that person doesn't even follow you, but they get on a phone call with you. And guess what matters most, folks? Getting on that damn phone call. Like, exactly. You don't need the follow, you need the call.
So interactions, making human connections, and it could be through DMs, emails, text messages, phone calls. There's many different ways to do it. Don't get yourself stuck in like, oh, they're telling me to do sales calls. We're not. We're telling you just to connect to people that you already know and just remind them that you exist essentially and that you're there for them if they need you. Number one. Number two, the thing that is getting me out of the fear is flipping fear to excitement. I'm excited to make these connections. I'm excited to connect to these people. I'm excited to DM these people and to text them and to write. I'm excited to make the connections. And so today, sort of flip that around in your head a little bit. If you're having issues with lead gen marketing, all those other things, social media engagement, all of that, we deal with that in the community. So we are here for you. I am so grateful to Jim for reaching out to me and creating this space because it's the space that I needed. And I have no problem saying I'm scared, but now I'm excited. I have no problem saying like my Achilles heel is marketing. Oh, but I'm so excited to make human connections, right? We will help you make that flip and we curate training towards literally what you need. We don't just throw a course in there and say, great, take it and maybe we'll do a mastermind in a month. It's not what we do. We are there every day for you. So if you're thinking about it, if you're having trouble, if you feel like you're on a lonely island, you're not, go to impacteffectcommunity.com. We're here for you. And I'm excited for Now Money Now. I'm excited for a follow-up. I can't wait for you to see my tracker.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Have an amazing day.